Hey guys, Alger here from Alger Films and welcome to the episode of Story to Life podcast. It is a show that covers filmmaking techniques, tips and tricks, and where you visualize story to life. This is episode 2 and stay tuned for our guest. So welcome. For today's podcast, we have Kraig from Kadams Media.
Well, to start off, my name is Kraig. I'm a junior television film arts major at Buffalo State College, but I'm originally from Rochester, New York.
Alright, to start off this question, how did you get into filmmaking?
I got into filmmaking through architecture, which is strange, but I hear that story a lot, it seems. People who do video production say they started designing houses and doing the whole AutoCAD thing just like me. But that, I think, put me into video editing because I saw the comparisons between that design and designing a video on, of course, Windows Movie Maker. Loved it. And then I just kept learning more and more stuff. And it was really when I was showing these videos to my family that I really got into it, because I would see that they would get bored. Well, who wouldn't want to watch a 15-minute video about X or Y? And I realized that every time that I cut it shorter, I added titles and different ways of showing the same material. My family was very much more responsive to watching an 8-minute, a 4-minute, a 2-minute trailer that had a lot more work put into it. And I just thought it was interesting to see how telling a story could be done differently using video editing and shooting, which I learned a lot later.
Right, I have to agree with you on that. Family really takes a big role in both motivation and inspiration. And in my case, both of my parents did not support me on my filmmaking. They did actually disagree, but showing them my works and, expressing what I really want to do, somehow they supported me, and which is really great. And this is where I am right now. So I'm glad that they did. And yeah, it's you never know what's going to happen. So the next question is, what camera do you use?
The camera I'm using right now is a Canon EOS 60D, and I think it's fantastic as far as what I do. Of course, it allows me to get shallow depth of field, but the biggest change has just been the ability to use lenses. And of course, I've had manual controls for a lot of the cameras that I've recently been using. Being able to control the shutter speed and the aperture, and then actually buying lenses depending on what I'm shooting, has really opened my eyes into just DP camera work as far as lighting and movement along with the camera, because just the resolution and the depth of field just isn't enough to tell a story. So you have to have a lot of different reasons for why you're doing something.
Right. DSLRs are very helpful, and that's the trend these days. And DSLR has really helped me improve my stuff. Especially, I consider DSLR as a challenging camera, a tool that needs to be mastered, and a practicing tool. You're not shooting raw with this camera. You have this compression and everything, so you need to get it right on camera. And to practice that as a DP, I think this tool is a really a great camera for us to practice how to get it right, the lighting and everything. So I consider DSLRs, although it's not the best camera, it is a great market to the cameras. So before using DSLR, what camera did you start out with?
I started out using this camera. I bought it for I think $200, which back in the day, that was a big purchase. And then I upgraded to my first Sony camera, and that was a big purchase. And I remember moving to HDV tapes, and it was such an eye-opening experience being able to shoot in HD for the first time. My second Sony camera was the Sony HDR AX2000, and that was my first professional camera. I've shot a lot of videos with it, but I just recently sold it to a man in Kentucky.
That's really great to hear. I also started out with a small camcorder. I'm still there. I don't really know if that's functioning. It's just that, I'm really glad that the technology has improved, and there are really great tools out there for us filmmakers to choose and to use for appropriate works. So the next question is, what is your passion? And how do you see yourself in 5 years?
Of course, a lot of people will say storytelling is my passion, but I honestly, I'm kind of more of a technical shooter. Had my hand at writing. I'm not that good at it. I'm working on it. I'm always working on everything I can to improve everything I do, but I love shooting, and if I had to say one word, it's efficiency. I like efficiency on sets. I like to know everything that I'm doing as far as gear, lighting, and that's why I want to become a DP. So hopefully within the next 5 years, I'll continue getting more jobs. I'm going to be moving into New York City, hopefully within a year after I graduate, and by that time I hope to work as a cameraman, first AC, second AC, and eventually DP. And that's what I want to do. As far as owning my own business, I would love to DP out of that and build up my business and build a team. But I would love to work as a DP on feature films.
Right. So you create lots of content on your Vimeo and both YouTube, and I enjoy watching those tutorials and contents you create. What made you decide to make those content training videos and tutorials?
A lot of what I shoot actually comes from a desire that I wish I had that when I was younger, you know? When I was first arriving at college, I was on the web scouring, trying to find videos of what college life was like. So the first couple of days and pretty much every week that first freshman year and even after, I made blogs and I made tutorial videos about what college life was like and what being a television film arts major was like on campus. And that got me a lot of jobs on campus and has helped me over the years. If I learn something new, I'm always excited to share it with others. I'm always excited to teach and try to help other people in the way that I wish I could have been helped. For 2 years on campus, I've been the president of Silver Screen, which is a club on campus for workshops and training videos and just a community of filmmakers on campus. And it's been really important to me as far as how I've been learning at college, and it's actually one of the most important things about what I do here. We make short films, we make tutorials, we hang out. It's a great way for people who love to make creative content to come together.
Right, and I really enjoy watching your contents and tutorials. They're really helpful, and for the aspiring filmmakers as well. I also started out teaching myself. I was self-taught, so it's really great to see people creating content to teach out and share what they can do and their techniques to the other people, and somehow sharing those works somehow inspires them to create better stuff. And I myself is one of them, and I also want to share it back to the audience. And it's like a cycle, and I love learning from online. I also love to teach online. So the process, how it goes through online education, it has been developed so much, and I really love that. And of course I love your works as well. So, and since you are one of the creators on YouTube and Vimeo, I just want to know, who are your inspirations when it comes to creating tutorials and such?
As far as my inspiration, I would say Film Riot was a really cool series that's still happening. Ryan Connolly, it was a great inspiration for tutorial videos and making short films and showing myself online. Garrett Fallon has his own Hidden Evil Productions, which pretty much started, he's a TFA major and a really cool guy that I respect, who gets himself out online and does tutorial videos. And professionally, I would say Wrigley Scott is a big one, because he makes what I wish I could make. I want to make a Prometheus, I want to make an Alien. My favorite genre is science fiction, and I love the idea of showing and creating worlds that people don't know yet, and trying to not predict, but just envision what could be. I love Minority Report, I love all those movies, a lot, yeah.
That's really good to hear. I myself love sci-fi films. Minority Report is one of my best cinematography and film. Christopher Nolan, I love, enough talking about films. Moving on with the questions. So how do you edit your videos? What's your workflow? Any tips that you can share?
I also like to be, I think it's really important to be organized. I think I may be a little OCD as far as file management and computer and equipment organization, but as far as my projects for film, everything always stays organized on my computer. I edit in a very meticulous way, and I think it helps me in the long run.
Right. Thank you a lot for sharing your your workflow. Now, where can people find your works?
You can find me and my work at www.kadamsmedia.com.
Yep, you've heard him. So make sure to check out his website. And it was an honor to have you here, Kraig. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, thank you so much for watching today's podcast. Make sure to check out Kraig Adams' work. You can find them again in the website provided in the show notes. And we'll have more guests coming up soon for your podcast. And make sure to leave your feedback in the comments down below. And you can also suggest what guests you want to see in my next podcast. So thank you for watching for today's Story to Life podcast. My name was LJ, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.